And your final question, what was the first game show ever broadcasted on public television?
Spelling Bee.
Correct.
I watched the clip of the first ever game show, Spelling Bee. Thank goodness, game shows have come a long way since then. Many people believe that shows like 24-Hour Quiz, Petrol Heads and Red and Black are amongst the worst game shows ever. The last one is particularly interesting, as it was hosted by the much-loved Ant and Dec, but was criticised for being too close to Deal or No Deal. It irritates me that game shows were once considered to be the lowest priority by the networks. Many game shows only lasted 13 weeks before being cancelled and in some cases destroyed. I believe we owe a lot to the hugely successful Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
We later caught up with Jasmine to find out more about her favourite game shows.
Well, I love the new one that Stephen Mulhern is presenting, Pick Me. I also really love All Star Mr. and Mrs. The first game show I watched was Jungle Run on CITV when I was about 8 years old. I think that's where my interest in game shows started, really. My nanny has always been a massive fan of game shows, like Deal or No Deal, and so when I've been at her house, there's always a game show on TV. I would love to feature on Stephen Mulhern's new show, Pick Me. I love the fact that they get the audience to dress up in ridiculous costumes.
But this wasn't enough. We went to find out more from some other people.
I applied to go on Catchphrase. I just went on their website and there's a section at the bottom that says apply, and you click on that and you have to fill a form out online.
So some friends from school who I knew decided they wanted to be on the show, and they think, although to be honest, it did better get borne out, that I am a good brain to have on the team. So it was a request rather than an application.
And there's a section, it wants to know a funny story. So something that's happened to you that's funny, just like an anecdote that they can perhaps bring up on the show. A few years ago when I was teaching, I taught a student who thought a thesaurus was a dinosaur.
As you perhaps know about Eggheads, the show lasts about half an hour, and I knew it would take longer than half an hour to film, but I didn't expect it to take 3.5 hours. So in that respect, it wasn't what I expected. I also wasn't what I expected in the respect that I didn't feel nervous at all, in the slightest. I thought I'd get on and be like, ooh, but I wasn't. I didn't feel nervous at all once I got there, partly perhaps because there was no studio audience.
I think with Catchphrase, I just find it really easy. I sort of sat watching it on TV and I tend to get all of them right before the contestants do. So I thought, well, if I'm good at it on my sofa, if I apply for it, then hopefully I'll have a good chance of winning.
You're supposed to take 4 changes of clothes, so that if any of the clothes you've taken aren't suitable or it blends into the backdrop, they can say, like, we don't want you to wear that, we want you to wear something else. So I knew to take 4 changes of clothes. The head of the team didn't, and he had to just wear what he was wearing.
I think if I got on Catchphrase or another game show, I think the biggest challenge would be actually not necessarily on the game show itself. It's coming back to work with perhaps knowing that I haven't done as well as I could have done and face the ridicule of maybe doing a bit rubbish.
And at first, there's like researchers and they help you. And they said at first they thought I'd be okay in a suit, but then when we got down there, they decided that I clashed with Jeremy Vine, so I had to change out of a suit and wear, if you watch the episode, I'm wearing more like a cowboy type shirt.
Game shows aren't just enjoyed by adults though. There's a whole plethora of children's game shows, such as Jungle Run.
When I was 10 years old, I was on the game show Jungle Run. I almost begged my mum to be on it. It was one of my favourite shows ever. I came with my best friend at the time, and one of her friends. I didn't really know him, but yeah, they was really fun to be with. We did really well together, actually. In the cave, we had a total of 2 minutes 20 because we got the golden monkey, so we had plenty of time. I would like to be, when I'm older, on Pointless. I think on Tipping Point's quite a good one. you get to win money.
Coming up, Jasmine is taken to meet a real game show contestant. That's what's next on Game Show Mastermind.